House of the Dragon Season 3 Episode 2 begins from the underwater point of view of the Battle of Galat Musa. Zacharis Valerian is no more. In the turbulent sea of Galat, the draining out lost forever. With the Dragon Vermix, the eldest son of Targaryen, the crown prince of Dragonstone, the Dragon Vermix? But the war is not over yet. We can still see dragon fire on the body is slowly bleeding in the deep waters of the sea. In a few shots, we clearly understand that the 3 Buster Dragon seeds have also arrived at the end of the Battle of Galat, but we are shown in the context of a pile of corpses. It is a very clever visual screenplay. On the one hand, the audience has been told how much the price of that victory is. Even if one side wins this terrible war, the mountains of corpses have been crossed. On the other hand, HBO's budget has been reduced by not showing the battle scene Dragonfire directly. Anyway, let's get to the story. Bella Targaryen brings back the frozen body of Jacaerys on the back of Moondancer. For Bella Targaryen, Jace's body is a terrible threefold tragedy. First, Jace was Bella's fiancé. The wife of the crown prince means the future queen. That's the end. The second, she disobeyed the queen's orders and joined Jason in battle. This is direct imprisonment. Third, her own sister. Rhea Targaryen is directly responsible for Jace's death. Only Bella now knows that Rhea was on the back of the dragon ship stealer. No one else. She has kept this information a secret. Sir Laurent comes forward, asks Bella about the battle. Bella replies, "We won." But their faces tell us how much of a victory this is. The news of Jace's terrible death reaches Rhaenyra Targaryen. She rushes over. She looks and sees Jace lying on the shore with a deep wound in his chest and the salty sea water. The son who disobeyed his mother and fell to his death. The debtors look at the lifeless face of his son. At first, there's no tears in his voice. Absolutely denial. The debtors can't believe that the Sir is not alive. He asks, looking at the body, "How can you do this?" The grannies ask the dead son, "How could you do this?" After that, the entire wall of Dragonstone trembles with the mother's screams. Sir Laurent surrenders his suit by lying down. That is, he wants him to be killed for this death, but the mother's heart full of sorrow asks him back. "If I kill you, will my son come back?" In this scene, although the son Harama does not want Laurent's death, but Queen Bernice will order her Laurent to choose his own death path in another scene later. Meanwhile, we still see the fight of the Valdian soldiers with the remnants of the Turkian soldiers in the mountainous land of Driftmark. In the meantime, Aelin with a small army is searching for her father, Cisne Corlys Valerian. Last time we saw Corlys fall into the sea. Meanwhile, in the outskirts of the Vale, Rhaenyra Targaryen returns to Lady Jane Arryn Hood. She has indeed claimed the wild dragon ship Stellar, but this wild beast has not yet fully settled in her. In the Battle of Galat, she set fire to Corlys Valerian's ship, mistaking it for an enemy or ally. It will take time to fully control this dragon, but Rhaenyra does not have that time. When Rhaenyra learns that Jace died because of her mistake, she realizes that she has no way back, so she comes to the Vale for refuge. Lady Arryn hesitates at first. The people of the Vale have always been safe behind the mountains. Getting involved in this bloody war means the end of that precarious security, especially now sheltering Rhaenyra means going against Rhaenyra. But Rhaenyra tells her one thing: the dragon ship Stellar will be here with her in the protection of the Vale. Of course, I found it quite funny. The 2 children that the Dragon Vale sent were supposed to be more reliable than the ship Stellar. But Lady Arryn agreed to shelter Rhaenyra. But not directly. She said, "The Vale is a very large area. I can't hold back any dragon." But Rhaenyra should never come in front of it again. After winning the battle of the Red Fort and Lakeshore in the Riverlands, everyone is singing under the leadership of Daemon and Oscar. Jason Lannister and the severed head of the lion are impaled. In the victory song, we notice Rudita Ruin, the leader of the Winter Wolves, and Alicent Blackwood separately. We have not yet been given the identity of Alicent Blackwood. However, remember the character for the future as a very powerful and important lady. Here, everyone was singing about fish, because so many of the Leicester army were killed in the Lakeshore River at the Battle of Lakeshore that all the fish in the river will be eating only the corpses of the Leicester army for the next several months. In the midst of this celebration, Simon Sean Strong, the caretaker of Harrenhal, brings news to Daemon. Jacaerys is no longer alive. Daemon Targaryen, a man who has fought for power all his life, wearing a cloak of cruelty, does not hesitate for a moment to give the bad news to his vast Riverland army first. Then he orders them to move in different directions immediately, saying that they are going to capture King's Landing. However, before leaving Harrenhal, Daemon has a strange conversation with Alice River. Alice River, this mysterious woman, told the three dragon seeds to leave Harrenhal in the last episode. They left under her influence. Daemon never knows this now. Alice here asks Daemon for another thing. He wants the authority of Harrenhal. Alice clearly says that she has spent her long life here. Before her eyes, the responsibility of Harrenhal has been transferred from one lord to another. From this, we understand that no matter how young Alice seems, she is actually much older. Daemon responds sharply to this request. To get the right to Harrenhal, you need high blood. You need a name and a husband. You don't have either. But as a gift for Alice's loyalty, Queen will surely give her something good. I get good. Alice River is very angry at this and tells Daemon to never come back here again. Remember what I told you. Dear viewers, Daemon will die in Harrenhal. Alice River said this in the last season. Not only Daemon, everyone will die due to the curse of Harrenhal. I have made a separate video about the curse of Harrenhal. Those who want to know more about this matter can check the I button in description. The link is given after watching this video. Meanwhile, after the Battle of Gaul, Daemon of Hull is still frantically searching for her father. At this time, Bella lands on the seashore with the dragon Moondancer. She was also looking for her grandmother. This is the first time she meets Elend on screen. However, from their dialogue, we understand that Bella knows the identity of Elend and Adam. At that time, Adam and Fal were flying in the sky with Sea Smoke looking for Sea's neck. Finally, Corlys Velaryon is found on a rocky part of the sea. Adam and the dragon Sea Smoke dive there. In the meantime, another disaster occurs on the other side of the kingdom. Aegon Toe and Larys Strong were supposed to be handed over to Rhaenyra through House Stanton. Do you remember? While this caravan was going on the way to Duskendal, they clashed with a small group of Tyraki soldiers. Do you understand the importance of this? The Tyraki plan was not only about the sea and drift marks, they also wanted to capture the land around Dragonstone. However, they were interrupted by the soldiers of the Stanton House. The crippled king, Aegon II, and Larys took this opportunity. Here we see a nice change in Aegon II's character arc. Aegon II took the opportunity to take an arrow out of a corpse and attack another guard, killing him. We understand that Aegon II is learning to fight back by enduring the pain of his crippled body. Larys' plan was to go to Essos as a Daskandel, but Aegon II does not say that they will go to Rux. That is, the Rux Rest where Aegon tried to kill Tutu. Although Larys does not understand why Aegon wants to go there, but real fans must have understood. Aegon II wants to see if his dragon, Sunfire, is still alive in the forest of Rux Rest. On the other hand, on the seashore, a living, but completely destroyed Corlys Velaryon sits with Elend, Adam, and Bella. Having ruled the seas all his life, Sisney sighs and says, "If this is the victory I hope I never..." Herein lies the real tragedy of the Battle of Galt. It is at this moment that Corlys does something that is one of the best moments of this season. He officially gives Eklon and Adam the title of Velaryon. From today on, they are no longer the bastards of Hull. They are Elend Velaryon and Adam Velaryon. Although Corlys does not have the right to legitimize the bastards directly like this, he has to get the Queen's permission. But this moment is beautiful. In King's Landing, Alicent flies to Harrenhal with Aemon Edger in front of the High Tower. At this time, Alicent makes another move. Gold Clock Alicent meets with Luther Largent, the current commander of the garrison of King's Landing. This character named Luther Largent is the first time I saw him in the series, but he is a very important and powerful character. Remember him not only for this episode, but also in the future. Alicent uses the name of her daughter, Queen Helaena Targaryen, to directly order that the city gates be opened when Rhaenyra arrives. No resistance. Alicent is using Helena's authority because she has gone to Helena Hall. There is no resistance. In fact, if anyone is in the Queen's seat in King's Landing now, it is Helena. Meanwhile, in the Riverlands, two dragons meet, Wolfit and Hugh Hammer. Instead of staying in Harrenhal for Aemon, they have come to Dragonstone. Although Hugh Hammer acts calmly, Wolfit goes to scold Daemon in his lazy style. He calls him the Rogue Prince. Daemon gets angry. He slaps Wolfit directly on the cheek. This scene is short but important. All book readers know what role these two will play in the future story. Those who don't know, remember, this scene may be a reason for that future. And for those who want to know about the future from the main book right now, there is a video link to the Battle of Tumbleton in the I button and description. After finishing this video, watch it. Then Mysaria meets Daemon. The matter is uncomfortable for both of them. Daemon treated Mysaria, who once served as a bodyguard, as his second wife in the first season. Then, in the second season, he captured her and rescued her. In Daemon's absence, Mysaria saved Rhaenyra's life. Now she has become a romantic partner. Daemon doesn't know it, but there is quite a debate here about who is closer in loyalty to Targaryen. A mutual relationship develops between them centered on Rhaenyra. Both of them were discussing how credible the proposal of the High Tower of Elisant was. At that time, the Major of Dragonstone brings news. He was seen leaving King's Landing and heading towards Harrenhal. On the other hand, Sir Rickard in the Red Keep, who was with Elisant in the King's Flight last season, questions Elisant about her activities. Elisant dismisses him in one word and asks him to call some important lords. Meanwhile, Daemon Rhaenyra, who is sitting next to Rhaenyra, who is suffering from her sons in the chambers of Dragonstone, is tired. Lucerys is gone, and now Jacaerys is gone too. He can't take it anymore. He wants to stop the war. What Daemon does at this moment is a turning point in the story of House Dragon. He tells Rhaenyra about the vision he saw in Harrenhal. Daenerys Targaryen tells him about the Song of Ice and Fire, the future queen who is coming with dragons. Daemon tells Rhaenyra that this war is not just for the Iron Throne. This war is part of a bigger story, and Rhaenyra has a role in that story. Daemon says this war is not just for an Iron Chair. This war is a larger fight to save the entire human civilization. On the other hand, there is a lot of confusion here about Rhaenyra Targaryen and the dragon ship Whistler. Both Jacaerys and Bella knew who the rider of the dragon ship Bristle was. Then, Bella did not tell anyone this story, so everyone started thinking of the dragon ship Stellar as some unknown dragon of the green team to the black team. Rhaenyra orders Daemon to find and capture this rider. This mistake that Rhaenyra made, based on wrong information, will push Daemon Targaryen away from her in the future. In the main book, Daemon and Rhaenyra also had a relationship with the dragon ship rider Nettle, and Rhaenyra is placed in that position. Meanwhile, another demonic incident occurs in the Red Keep. Elisant was packing some things in her room. At this time, Jasper, the small council member of the Wild Green Team, found Elisant alone and tried to directly harass her by bringing up her full relationship with Christine Cone, and here we see Elisant for the first time taking violent action against the use of her body. Falling into her father's trap since childhood, Elisant had made her body a machine to make Viserys' inheritance. Then she joined the palace conspiracy against her physical needs with Lord Laroguyus and Chris Nekul. But in the last episode, when her own son Elisant kissed her on the lips, I think Elisant decided to abdicate her body from this moment. But Jasper threw her from the world to the floor. At that moment, Grand Mr. Orwell entered with his soldiers. Jasper was arrested. In the last episode, this Jasper saved Mr. Orwell's life. But in this episode, he supports Alicent Hightower even after realizing her betrayal. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra and Daemon prepare to attack King's Landing. Only 2 dragons, Ymir and Wolfeat, will go with them. Rhaenyra is fully prepared to capture Ironthon, although her 2 council members are against taking only dragons without any military ties. Rhaenyra and Daemon do not care about anyone. Myceria gives Rhaenyra the crown, finds her that the small foxes of King's Landing have worked for Rhaenyra until now. Rhaenyra does not tell her anything directly, but here she asks him to ask how Sir Laurent, who locked her in the chamber in the last episode, wants to die. 4 dragons fly over the ruins of the Battle of Galad. Meanwhile, in King's Landing, Helaena Targaryen is surprised to see a butterfly caterpillar grow untimely. The matter has great significance, because every time we've seen Helaena talk about insects before, we have seen something happen about them. Alicent wants to protect Helaena even at the cost of her sons' lives. Alicent does not want another bloody battle. She knows very well that Helaena was happy before becoming queen, just like she herself. Then Alicent and Helaena go to those waiting on the palace wall with the dragon killer's wife. Amander's standing order to shoot any dragons in the sky is cancelled, because Alicent clearly says that the king has fled. The Prince Regent is gone. We leave the 2 girls alone. If Ren's Daemon brings the dragon, who will you shed blood for? On the other hand, the bloodiest scene of the 2nd episode takes place in Harrenhal. First, Christine Cole and her group see Vhagar. Orion is flying towards Harrenhal. They give chase. They reach Harrenhal like this. Much like Daemon came to the Strong family's dinner. But Daemon doesn't show such mercy. First, Falcon starts burning the remaining soldiers in Harrenhal. Aemond enters here in the same way that Daemon came in a dream with a black bandage on his eye last season. Then Simon Strong kills his entire family from the dinner table. One-Eye Targaryen. Dear viewers, Simon Strong was Daemon's confidant. Aemond paid the price for his fidelity in this way. This is the most brutal aspect of Aemond's character. He doesn't just kill the enemy, he sends a message. But right after that, something unexpected happens. Aemond suddenly falls, severe pain in his back. One of Simon Strong's sons hits Aemond on the back at the last moment before his death. Aemond starts bleeding heavily. In front of him, the devil is standing in Alice River. The man who never asked for help from anyone is now helpless in front of the Witch of Harrenhal. The curse of Harrenhal has begun. I think that suddenly becoming weak and asking for help from Alice River, who was present, even though she didn't recognize her, is all a trick Alice concocted. The identity and rights that Alice didn't get from Daemon will be accepted very well through Aemond. Then comes the iconic climax. The dragons of the Black Team descend from the sky to King's Landing. Alicent, Hale, and Rhaenyra start escaping through a secret path. Seeing the dragon in the sky, Small Fox gets into a huff. There was definitely a riot story here in the main book. Nothing like that happened in the show. I was wondering if Game of Thrones Season 8 would happen again. But no, Hugh Hammer's wife cat, Wolf White's drinking companions watch them from below. Without any escort, Rhaenyra and Daemon get off the dragon and start walking in front of the banquet. No one blocks their way. A few bow. Alicent keeps her word. Rhaena and Daemon open the door and walk towards the throne room. A few green soldiers block their way. Daemon cut them down in an instant. Daemon kept moving forward with Rhaena in front. As soon as they reached the throne, another group of green army led by Sir Rickard came to stop them. Rhaenyra drew his own sword this time, but Sir Rickard found the matter ridiculous. However, when all the gold clocks entered there on the orders of Sir Luther Largent, Rickard's smile faded. Sir Luther Largent was taught the gold clock by Daemon 25 years ago. So even if Alicent had not said so, her loyalty would have been with Daemon. Sir Rickard was taken for execution. Meanwhile, Mr. Orwell said that Aegon and Larys had already escaped. Even Alicent, Helena, and little Sahara had left the Red Keep and joined the crowd of ordinary people. However, Mr. Daemon is taken to the Red Keep by the son of the Red Keep. But Alicent and Helena are recognized by some small foxwomen outside the palace. On the other hand, Daemon's son, Agantu, who was imprisoned for being loyal to Rhaenyra, orders them to be released. Here we see Lord Larys Strong's double game. If Daemon and the Rhaelys ever return, Larys Strong has left a priceless gift for them in the dark black cell of the Red Keep. Daemon kept Otto Hightower, the former hand of the king, whose conspiracy led to Viserys marrying Rhaenyra's beloved girlfriend, away from his older brother. Otto Hightower had planned the betrayal before King Viserys' death. When Agantu hanged the Red Catchers in Season 2, Agantu asked him to leave because of Otto's threats and end. Since then, Alicent has not heard from her father. We saw Otto in a mysterious prison at the end of Season 2. It was a dark black cell inside the Red Keep. None of us understood that Laeus had locked Otto up right under everyone's nose. Let me remind you that Nettister was also kept in a black cell by Cersei. Daemon reminds Ron that since everyone has fled, if he wants to claim the throne, he will have to shed the blood of this traitor in front of everyone. Daemon Dargan gives his famous dark sister to Rhaenyra. Otto is a complicated character. Rhae has been watching him since childhood. Even if Otto betrays him, he cannot think of killing his father's friend directly. But now, with the sword of Daemon in his hand, he is going to do so. On the other hand, Otto's entire family may already be dead. Otto wants to remind Rhaena of her father at this very moment. But when it becomes clear that it is useless, he lets it get to him. In the pinprick silence of the throne room, Rhaena strikes first. It misses. But with the second blow, Otto Hightower's severed head fell to the floor. In an instant, the demon also finished off Jasper Royal, crossing a trail of fresh blood. Rhaenyra Targaryen, with bloodstains on her shoes, sat on the coveted Iron Throne in a silence. The throne for which so much blood, so many tears, so much betrayal. The image of sitting on that throne was reflected in Otto Hightower's blood. In the meantime, Alicent Hightower, captured by the gold clocks, returned to the throne room. In front of her eyes, the severed head of her father, Otto Hightower, lies on the floor. We see Alicent's terrifying face through a single shot. Rhaenyra looks at her beloved friend with a strong face, armed with weapons. Neither Rhaenyra nor Alicent wanted bloodshed in this war. That's why Alicent had so much intrigue to clear the way for Rhaenyra. But how did Rhaenyra counter her? Kills Alicent's father. House of the Dragon Season 3 Episode 2 ends here.